They say the food we make tells a story about who we are, where we come from, and what we value. In my home, cooking isn't just about feeding my family. It's about nurturing, creating comfort, and embracing the cultures that make us who we are. If I look at what I cook most often, it's clear I can't deny my roots. But I also see how our two cultures have blended together in our meals. Today I want to share some of the simple, meaningful meals that define our home and why they matter. Outside everything is cold and covered in snow, but inside our home it is warm and cozy. When winter keeps us cooped up inside, I find myself cooking more, filling our home with family flavors. The first recipe I want to share with you is my atol de plátano. The process is really simple. Just find about 4 plantains, depending on how much you want to make, that are really ripe so that you can get the sweetness from the plantain, and put them in a pot so you can fill it up with water, and you put inside some cinnamon sticks along with about 4 tablespoons of monk fruit or the sugar that you prefer. The second recipe I want to share, and it often goes together with the food that I grew up eating, is frijoles colados. In the previous video I shared with you my recipe of beans soup. This second step is taken from the bean soup and transforms the beans to a very nutritious, versatile food that it's a staple in my country. Frijoles colados can be eaten with bread, tostadas, tortillas, and we often accompany them with sour cream and queso fresco, which is mainly cheese. Beans are the backbone of so many Guatemalan meals, and this smooth, rich version is one of my favorites. It's simple, but it's the kind of food that brings comfort and connection. We actually have a pastry called rellenitos, which maybe I will do in the future, and it combines the plantains with the frijoles colados in a sweet dessert made of these two wonderful foods. One of the ways I love to enjoy them is in a sandwich. This sandwich has frijoles colados, eggs, cheese, and avocado, all stacked together. It's filling, flavorful, and brings together so many ingredients that remind me of my home. Third recipe I want to share with you, it's our sourdough discard pizza. Not every meal has to take hours. Our sourdough discard pizzas are perfect for busy days. Quick to put together, homemade, and it's something the whole family enjoys. There is something special about making pizza from scratch, even when it's simple. It reminds me that meals don't have to be complicated to bring joy. But also, it reminds me that I have what it takes to make really delicious food, and that gets us satisfied and very, very well nourished. When we make pizzas, I try to choose what I think it's healthier for us and what I enjoy. It is proof that the best moments often happens around the table, no matter what's being served. The third recipe I want to share with you is my chicken soup. There is no really nothing new about a chicken soup. But on days like this, when it's snowing and really cold, I really like to make soup and eat it with, all those really delicious vegetables. So there are meals that are just pure comfort, like this one. A good homemade chicken soup is one of those dishes that feels like a hug in a bowl, especially when someone isn't feeling well or when the weather is cold. It's a staple in so many cultures, and I love how a simple pot of soup can bring warmth to the whole home. So for this recipe, I start with garlic and onion to cook the chicken, and then I cut some of my favorite vegetables. So many good vegetables go with the soup. I usually use also, many times I use the chicken flavoring from Costco, which is maybe not so healthy for you, but it gives it a good flavor. On busy days, I also love making homemade fries in the air fryer. This is a mix of sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. On this particular day, I was really not being able to cook anything fancy, but we got out our hot dogs, and it's actually becoming more usual than not on Saturdays because I don't cook on Sundays, and Saturdays is also becoming a free day for us to cook really elaborated meals. And hot dogs are really easy and very well loved by my family. These are crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. The air fryer really does a great job in making this, and I just put a little salt, and it is a really easy and satisfying side dish that everyone loves. I will also like to share with you this Guatemalan tamale that I am eating here. I do not have the recipe, but one of my goals this year is to learn something new to cook. I have a few recipes that I usually make, but I really would like to expand my repertoire. Tamales is really elaborate, or at least Guatemalan tamales that I know are really elaborate, and it takes a lot of effort and work to make them. We traditionally eat them for Christmas, but you can freeze them and they really get better and better with time. You just have to thaw them and make sure they're really hot before you consume them, and they are just delicious. These were chicken tamales. They are a Christmas tradition, but the truth is they can be enjoyed year-round, and I love that they can be frozen and they taste really good every single time after you heat them. Making tamales is a labor of love, and that's what makes them special. In a multicultural home like ours, we don't just share meals, we share our histories, and that means respecting each other's acquired tastes. Even if we don't always love the same foods, maybe my kids won't fully appreciate these tamales now, but if I keep getting them and maybe one day learn to make them, I will keep the recipe alive and they might like them. As well as my husband. My husband likes to eat them, but it's very different from what he knows, especially the Mexican tamales. Not every meal in my home is planned out. Some days it's just about making the most of what we have, like you have seen with the hot dogs. Reheating leftovers, adding some simple like turkey sausage, and being grateful for a full plate is what we do. This is your sign that says allow yourself to use your creativity and be extremely practical, and in the process use everything you have to minimize wasting food. Homemaking isn't about being perfect. It's about creating an atmosphere of love, comfort, and care. And food is such a big part of that. It doesn't have to be fancy. Some of my best meals are the simplest ones. What matters is the love and intention behind them. The meals you make, even the quick ones on busy days, are part of your family story. So don't be afraid to embrace the food that feels like home to you, whether it's a family recipe passed down through generations or a meal you've made your own. It's all part of creating a home filled with love. And if you are in a multicultural home like mine, let food be a way to celebrate both where you came from and the new traditions you are building together. Because at the end of the day, the heart of our home isn't just what we eat, it is the love we share around the table. What are the meals that define your home? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear what your food means to you. Till next time, my friend. Goodbye. Oh my gosh.